Hello and welcome back to this Trails in the Sky second chapter Let's Play with me, jrpg. In the last episode we defeated Lau, and Joshua and him had a one-on-one battle, and he finally showed that he can beat the Blade Lord. And Lau found his senses a little bit and said that he was gonna maybe help us when Weissmann came out and hit him with a blade. So I think without further ado we do this. Good evening everyone. I would say that you've done a splendid job overcoming my little trials, reaching the pinnacle. But all these little rule violations. Oh, so unsporting.
Rule violations? What are you talking about? We fought every one of your dumb enforcers fair and square, and Joshua beat Lau one-on-one. Heck, we'd been fairer about this than we should have been.
I see that you've yet to grasp the full extent of the plan. All servants of Ourbours receive power from the Grand Master in some way or form. If you have few members of Ourbours assisting you, that hardly seems a fair and informative experiment now, does it?
We're an experiment?
I've been a fool. Us coming here was part of your plan all along, wasn't it? I'll admit adding my own personal touches to the plan, but yes, half of it did consist of you making your way here.
I see. The gospel plan isn't about obtaining the aureole, is it?
Correct, according to the Grand Master's design. But as I said, you were never meant to have Ourbours members as part of the experiment, which means Joshua here is ruining the precision of my results. Forgive me, my boy, I think it's time you became my puppet once more.
What do you...
Ugh.
Joshua, are you alright? No.
Weissmann, you bastard!
Joshua, this is a joke, right? Come on, back. Come on, stop it. Stop looking at me like that.
Please, that's enough, this little point. When this all began, I used my power to rebuild Joshua's shadowed mind. The stigma and I sank into the depths of his mind has slept dormant since. When it invoked, however, the effect is tremendous. Joshua really is little more than a puppet to me now.
No.
And incidentally, that little thing on Josh's shoulder, it isn't just a tattoo. It's the image of the stigma I burned into his mind, made manifest on his flesh. I imagine it came quite the fright when it reappeared after I returned his memory.
You lied. On top of all the suffering you put Joshua through, you said you freed him. And even that was a lie.
Now, I wasn't lying when I told you he was free. Joshua had left you alone and not come this far with you. I wouldn't have had to do this. Why, one could say this is really all your fault, Miss Bright. What a monster you are.
Don't screw with me, Weissmann. Don't you tell me anything about the path I've chosen. You've taken control of Joshua. All it's done is made me even more angry. And I'm gonna make you clear to Arabonia, and I'm gonna beat you clear to Arabonia and come back to save Joshua.
And that's what I was hoping to see, but I'm afraid I'm rather busy at the moment. I don't think I quite have the time to stay here right now. When you come all the way down to the core sector, do come visit, so we can finish the experiment. I'll be waiting.
Joshua. No.
Damn it, this is bad. How did we even get to this core sector? Use the elevator in the back.
Oh, thank goodness you're okay. But the elevator I don't see.
There we go.
You mean the big plate in the back?
I guess right down to the core sector, straight to the aerial. No time.
Alright.
Of course.
It's the creature that brought down the Arcel.
Revere Dragon. Damn you, Weissmann, so you did just have more than one I used. Figures, Weissmann throw more than big metal things away.
We're gonna have to get past them somehow. Let us handle this then.
Of course.
Julia or Major Vander, what are you doing here?
The repairs to the Arcel are essentially done. We got everything we could fight together and came out to assist you.
Yeah, admittedly, I'm just tagging along to look at everything in awe. Don't forget about us.
The Bobcat's about to fly too. We'll figure we'll pop it over and see how you're getting along.
That's great.
And I'll say we managed to time our heroism just right once again, but please no applause. Don't worry about those things, we can handle them.
Estelle, hurry and save Joshua, okay? Guys, thanks.
Estelle, go. Your light is the only thing that can save Joshua now.
Right. Everyone, attack!
Split into two groups, rip them apart.
Yeah!
Is no one coming with us? Didn't think this would be an elevator shaft. How deep do you think it goes?
It must be at minimum cover the entirety of the pillar's height. Expect it goes even deeper into the island.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Joshua promised to walk by your side until the end, didn't he? You bring him back to us, I know you will. Chloe, thanks. Yeah, he'll never break a promise if he can help it. Besides, like heck, I'm just gonna abandon him and let that creep Weissmann do what he wants with my Joshua. It's time to take back my man with girl power.
Hell yeah, that's the spirit.
What's that? No.
A third one.
There's more of these dragon things? Really do need to be ready for anything.
Damn right, bring it on. Okay, boasts astounding firepower. But I am the mighty Agate and Co. That does help. That is invulnerable stat is actually very helpful. You know what we're doing. We're just going to be taking him down every single time. All good, all good. Debuff the fuck out of him. Will of time. Woo-hoo-hoo! Then a dragon dive against the dragon. It was actually fairly easy. That's why I bring Chloe, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I bring Chloe. Because you can set up like that and it becomes a lot easier. Here we are in the core sector.
I guess it's the end of the line. So this is the core sector, huh? The air positively throbs. I think this must be our destination.
Our boy and Ariel must be just ahead of here.
They have to be, I think. I'll probably be our last fight. It's where we're gonna stop Ourbours and the shutdown phenomenon. It's gonna be where we free Joshua from Weissmann once and for all. Please give her everything you still have.
Like you get anything less.
I'm sure how much it would be, but of course.
God damn it. The thing's destroyed. We get a rest point. Let's go. Okay, we still have some enemies to defeat here. Ooh, god damn it. That's really annoying that they've given a thing to her. But that's okay, we can defeat this one here. Heal yourself with that Curia Balm, please. Just to make sure that you don't die. And luckily we can use a good old hard break there. And then we can't use sturm, but we'll move out of the way. That's annoying. But we can hard break this guy. Woo. Sturm 2. We're just a little bit close, but we're during the edge. Nice. And then with that, I should see that down. Cool. Have to be careful. We get a celestial bomb there as well. We will not lose. We're going to use this now, and then we're just going to use Agates as well, because it's going to make life a bit easier. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. There's another one. It's annoying that there's one regular boss there, but ultimately it doesn't actually matter too much because we get one there. We can use a Sturm 2 against this guy. And then we got, this is what I like about his team setup, is that we've got arts cancelling shit everywhere. So much cancelling of the arts, so we don't even have to worry about take out this one first. Called allies, that's fine. That's one down. Then we can use Kempfer 2 here. And just attack with the Garte. And attack with Estelle. Easily done. Welcome everyone, welcome to the home of all that is sacred.
Joshua!
You passed the final trial, excellent, excellent. Be proud you are worthy of to present the resurrection of the Shining Ring, the Aureole.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all, thanks. I'm here to put a stop to all this stupid weirdness. I'm here to get Joshua back.
Sadly, I'm afraid that won't be happening.
What you mean? Joshua, hey!
No matter how you try and deny it, the truth remains. Joshua's mind is little more than a construct. The stigma on his shoulder is proof. Proof that he is of Ourbours, that he is my possession.
How dare you!
Perhaps if Joshua had somehow erased the stigma of his own will, he could have found release. But alas, he never managed to get that far. It would be best to keep him as a research subject for a bit longer.
Unbelievable evil.
Keep talking, pal. I'll make the beating in your face that much sweeter. Goodness me, such insults and how important they are. You see, I suspect Joshua realized very quickly what the stigma on his arm shoulder meant. Surely he knew something like this exact situation would occur. Yet he never breathed a word of his troubles to any of you, did he? Not even a whisper. And conversely, none of you was sensitive enough to notice his pain. What power these bonds of yours have. What complete earth-shaking potential. But come now, there's no need for long faces. You've been granted the privilege of being here for this glorious moment, and all that remains now is to make the correct choice.
Privilege? Choice? What are you on about?
Perhaps I should start from the very beginning. How much do you know, I wonder, about this city and the events that occurred here with the Aureole nearly 1200 years ago, before our time?
So that's the Aureole.
It most certainly is. One of the ultimate artifacts, capable of producing literally endless power and shaping miracles. The ancients sealed it away despite its limitless science-shattering potential. Why do you think they would do such a thing?
Well,
you were too busy struggling with that. What that was before you to bother learning anything, I suppose. But then allow me to play the role of professor once more and elucidate the truth of the matter. Millennia, Adios of the Sky, granted humanity 7 treasures. The brevity's sake, will say one utilized a facet of reality in order to manifest miracles in their own way. Humanity split into 7 factions, each centered around a treasure to pursue the ideal based on the powers of the given treasure. One such ideal was this, the Liber Arc, a city in the sky with the Aureole as its center, a paradise removed from troubles of the ground, which means each man's gospel could grant any wish through the Aureole. Mankind lived a bountiful life here, absolutely free of strife. Over time, however, people's lives were swallowed up in artificial bliss granted to them by the Aureole. Not just physical ecstasy, but even dreams were provided by the Aureole. False realities granted people long-sought spiritual fulfillment. The people of the Liber Arc depended on miracles that were all but narcotic, began treading the path to annihilation. The Ark's inhabitants lost all sense of ambition and ethics and slid into madness and despair. Birth rates dropped catastrophically while suicide and bizarre crime ran rampant. The whole of society walked the path to slow demise. But the Aureole passed no judgment on these people. It merely granted the miracles they asked of it. And so the shining jewel of the sky became a den of evil and chaos. This is the situation Celestial Estelle and her conspirators faced over 1,000 years ago, but they built the Seal and the Device Towers, even as they fought off the Guardians of the Arial, which it sent forth to save itself. And at last they sealed not just the Arial, but the entire city in another dimension.
That's what happened 1,200 years ago? I never would have imagined.
Damn, that's messed up. I will grant that the Ourbours cells did quite well given the circumstances, but think for a moment. The cost of Celeste's victory was humanity being cast forth into a land of chaos, forced to start again from nearly nothing. Think of all the suffering man endured then, and endures now as man savages one another with endless petty wars. Can it truly be said that she made the right decision? Well, on the other hand, we have gained or regained the Ourbours technology once again, live bountiful lives, easy lives. At this rate, there are only two ends are possible. Either we continually seek to dominate one another, unable to control ourselves, obliterate each other in an orgy of conflict, or like the people of old, we seek into a narcotic self-pleasure, let automated systems run the world and live as farm animals. Either physical or mental annihilation awaits. There is but one single path for humanity if it wishes to survive. The beast of mankind must be led to the point where they obtain two things required for true enlightened sentience: a flawless rationality capable of resisting any temptation, unswayed by the fiercest of circumstances, and peerless intelligence, even capable of finding the correct solution, unmoved by crude emotion. This is the true goal of the gospel plan: to do what the ancients could not, to advance minds to what they should be. What madness. You screwed in the head, pal. I would appreciate it if you would not look at me as if I were a megalomaniac lunatic. Man cannot help but change and reform through fear when confronted with something beyond his imagining. In that sense, what better tools exist to drive evolution forward than the Arial? I will guide mankind onto the correct path of salvation with this great treasure from Adios. That is my duty as one of the Anges, my duty to Ourbours and its master.
Boy, you're a real hit at parties. Not. What's this? A flawless rationality capable of resisting any temptation, unswayed even by the fiercest of circumstances. Peerless intelligence, ever capable of finding the correct solution, unmoved by crude emotion. What's the point of any of that?
It seems like someone was sleeping during the lecture. As I said, mankind faces annihilation through conflict or mental entropy. The only way we can...
No, I heard the lecture just fine. It's just not what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is, isn't there something we can do about the problems you described if we know they exist? It's like Joshua said to Lo, we aren't completely powerless. They might not be guarded by Florida's peerless whatever, but everyone's working together to get through the crisis going on right now. I've gone across all of Liberel and seen it with my own eyes. Don't you think we're capable of getting along just fine without some kind of forceful grand transformation?
Really now, eking out survival by flocking together is how beasts and insects live. Is that really all you have to offer on the potential of humanity as it stands?
Is there anything I need to offer? Is the problem being the same? I mean, we're living beings too, you know, and heck, aren't I just talking about the strength of life?
What?
I don't think people are just animals, of course. I think that living honestly, with that spark of life from others as your driving force, that's what it means to live. People don't need to be omnipotent super beings or whatever you want them to be. People just need to be aware of one another and help each other out. And you know what? I bet the people who sealed the Arial away in the first place felt the same way. I mean, sure, making miracles mundane and relying on nothing but them is really bad by itself. But the biggest problem there, more than anything, is that it makes it so there's no point in knowing or helping each other. That's awful. You're right.
Yeah, people think they're islands, and then there's no way you can live without the help of everyone around you. Right on, Estelle. Well, sticking to the mutual assistance argument, invoking the power of human bonds of all things, I would ask you to read a history book before saying such nonsense, Miss Bright. As an example, consider overpowering, nation-crushing machine called war. Is man not capable of being ground beneath its trends?
Absolutely not. In the middle of the biggest war in Liberous history, my mother gave her life to save mine, and because of that I chose the path to embrace her, and now look at me. I'm here to stop the crisis you caused and prevent another war from breaking out, all in the end. Thanks to my mother. Hell, I'd say that you made my point for me. People are not powerless, not against anything. You're quite good at trite answers, if nothing else. If you seriously believe people are powerless, if you really convinced yourself humanity is only saved by you turning us into emotionless super beings, then that makes you really pathetic, I think. What? I mean, that you'll never know the joy of trusting someone or helping them. To think that your only smug satisfaction comes from watching people struggle. That's just too sad. But if you feel sorry for you, I am a bracer. Can't ignore the fact you're getting a lot of people involved in your little pity party. Sorry, I'm afraid we're gonna have to stop you. By force.
You ignorant girl, how dare you talk to me like that? Very well, the professor would like for you to prove your theory. Can't move.
What?
Do be patient for a moment, everyone. I promise this will be quite a show.
What are you planning, Weissmann?
Joshua, forward.
Joshua, no!
Come, Miss Bright, do show me. You claim humanity can stand against the forces large in it? Show me proof you can stand against despair.
Fine!
That feels like a battle we have to lose.
Joshua!
Oh, quite an impressive move. Leaving him with a divine blade for a while seems to have paid off nicely. It does feel good to see a product of one's craft honed to an even finer edge.
You awful!
Now for the climax. Seize her.
No!
Estelle! And thus the strength of humanity proves to be nothing more than a house of cards before a hurricane. But I am an academic after all. I do understand the necessity of proof. So, we'll have Joshua provide the final test.
What?
What indeed? It's a simple experiment. I'm going to have Joshua end your life. And once you are dead by his hand, I will break his hypnosis and return him to his senses.
You can't.
I do wonder what kind of expression Joshua will have on you seeing you dead at his feet. Doesn't it just get your blood pumping?
Don't even think about it. If you do that, Joshua would healed.
Yes, this time his heart may just be crushed to powder. If that happens, however, all I need to do is construct him a new persona. And I can offer him the chance to become human yet again and observe the results. Can hardly wait.
Stop it, it's too cruel.
Isn't it? Now, come, Joshua, enter.
Joshua, I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't die. I promised I'd walk with you. Please, no.
Joshua, wake your dumb ass up and stop.
Believe in you. Don't give in. Don't run away from reality, even if I die.
To be honest, if you die, I'm not sure I could face reality. What? About time you snapped out of it.
Joshua?
Sorry, Estelle. Didn't mean to scare you like that.
What?
What? This is absurd! Can't possibly have become all is well with the... Wait! The stigma! What happened to the stigma on your shoulder?
Oh yes, that. The stigma you carved into my flesh is... mine is gone. Thanks to you, it's been shattered.
But how?
I was a hypnotic wedge of sorts jammed into a stigma, keyed into a particular command. Been poking at the wedge on my own since then. Getting it ready to shatter the stigma the instant someone put pressure on it.
You...
A what now?
A wedge. I wasn't afraid I could be able to keep our promise, the way things were going. So I asked Kevin to do a little hypnotic assistance after we crashed.
Kevin?
This is Kevin Graham's doing, is it? Thought he was just a fledgling little squire, but it seems I underestimated his cute bag of tricks. A mistake I cannot repeat. At this point I owe my freedom and life. Of course, I owe someone else the same for pointing me in the right direction. Who else? No, Cassius Bright, damn you!
Dad? Oh, the letter he gave you before we got in the Arcel.
Yes, that's why you want to make sure it was only I read the letter, just in case anyone was listening in. I suspect your best chances of breaking the curse lies with Barley Carrigan's hands. Now, use that key as a decision that must be yours alone to make. Win your freedom by predicting what Weissmann will do. That's the old man, alright.
Oh, for crying out, Dad could have helped drop me a hint about this at least.
Honestly, I'd be worried about it for a long time. I kept wondering what you would make me do if you took control of me again. And so, knowing you, I decided to bet everything on one idea, that I couldn't possibly resist ordering me to do one thing I feared the most. And sure enough, you ordered it, and that broke the stigma. And finally, I'm completely free of you.
Joshua,
you foolish child. If you had obeyed me, you would have aspired to such heights. I could have advanced you in ways you cannot dream of.
much like how Estelle turned you down once, I have no interest in any of that. Besides, I've learned anything in this whole journey, one's path in life isn't given by someone else. It's something you find with others as you search for it, no matter how dark your surroundings.
Absurd. The history of man is stained with the blood of fools who try to find your path. Without guiding light to shine on the road, they shall remain lost.
You're wrong. We use the light we give off to each other to find our way together. And this is how we find our way here, through all your cynical traps.
That's right. Do you like your speeches, don't you? You shambling wreck of an enforcer. Show me then. Show me this light you claim to glide through the darkness. Here we go. And I shall show you in turn the blinding light of the loyal servant of the Grand Master, the powerless, faceless of the Angius.
I'm gonna say, if you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time where we face Weissmann. Peace.